Okay, so this is interesting. Customer interviews. How many do you think you did?
I don't know.
Hundreds, thousands, hundreds. Okay.
Hundreds, yeah.
100. Okay, so
Hundreds,
a lot of people will ask questions that they want the answers to. So I'm gonna like say a lot of things, and you can just go with it however you want, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people ask questions that they want to build a solution for, so then they get that answer for. A lot of people will not know what questions to get and just be all over the place. And some people will get information and put too much substance into that and then build off of that. How did you really kind of analyze what you were asking from a question standpoint, and then really recognizing what people were saying to then take it to that next step and build that thing? Because a lot of people could build a solution when there is no problem or a customer there. So how did you kind of put all that stuff together to make sure that you were building things that were at least seeming like they were going to make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, like, it's been a humbling journey, right? Like, you have in your mind exactly what something should be, and then you have, if you're going to ask people for feedback, I think part of that is being willing to take that feedback. And so for us, like, I just asked a lot of open-ended questions. I didn't give people a ton of insight into what I thought we were going to build before I asked these questions. And so some of that was validating, and some of that made us decide, okay, maybe we need to spend a little more time on this other thing that we didn't think was important.
Yeah, it seems like all of the guests that we don't know that we have turn out to be the best shows. So
she's so happy to hear that.
I just got like a remote hug. Thank you.
Because I mean, there's just so much. I mean, it's because when we know the person, it's just we already know a lot of the answers before we even ask the question. So, like we're hitting some really, really great things, and it's not necessarily that we're trying to, did you pass this test? Yes or no? Did you ask the right questions? Yes or no? But it's just one of those things where it's like you sharing your experience so that other people can learn from this, So it's like, how many interviews did you conduct?
Things are buzzworthy too on that, right? I mean, this is a customer interviews. Okay, that's great. Like, it goes deeper into that too. I think what you're right. Yeah.
And it's like a lot of people will ask me, hey, can I get a list of the questions before we start the show? And it's like a lot of times I have some stuff written down that I want to ask, but this being just a friendly conversation, it's like everything goes in totally different directions than I would think it's going to go. And 9 times out of 10, I don't get to any question that I have written down anyway.
Yeah, because definitely starting the show with an Andy Cohen show is how I anticipated doing this show today. Let me just tell you, that was question number 1. Caitlin, I mean, do you watch What Happens Live? Do you watch that show? Do you watch The Real Housewives? Thank you for that.
I have to admit, I am not a TV person.
I don't blame you.
My daughter is 6, and generally, if we're going to watch a TV show, it's like still we're watching Disney. And
do you subscribe to Disney Plus?
Yes, it's awesome.
Isn't it amazing? I've watched The Mighty Ducks again for the first time in years.
One of the best movies of all time. Yep. It's a good movie for you to bring up, because I think it's funny how these movies like The Mighty Ducks and Miracle like really like subscribe to the way you can think about your business culture. Mm-hmm. And for me, like, we're so about team and having all the right people in the right seats, and like how it's not about an individual, it's about all the collective of what we're able to build is all because of those pieces. So anyway, I love those movies.
But I'm curious. I want to circle back to when you said a year and a half ago you left your day job. What things did you put into place before you decided, all right, I'm ready to resign and we're going to give this thing a go? I'm sure that you and your husband had a conversation. I was 10 years ago, I was in a very similar spot, and you have to make sure that certain things are in place before you do that. Yeah. And I always kind of cringe a little bit when someone will come to me and say, hey, Tim, I need some help with my business. Can you, I just left my job, and then they have no plan. And it's just like, well, hopefully you got a box, because you might be living in a box if it doesn't work out. But talk to us about what you did in preparation to leave your day job and really go after Happily.
Yeah, I mean, I think that for me, there was no choice anymore. Like my heart was so deep in doing this. And it's interesting because I loved my work before and I loved the people I worked with. And I felt like that was an exceptional season. But like this, you know, you have this feeling where you're like, this is what I was made to do. And so with that, my poor husband had to hear that every day. I mean, I joke, but I married a really awesome person who's really supportive and understands who I am. And part of who I am is like, when I'm passionate about something, there's no stopping me. And so certainly we wanted to set some milestones around that we had enough feedback, that we had put some money into the product before I left. And then the timing felt right. And the timing could have felt so wrong because it was like at the beginning of the pandemic, but it allowed us to go all in on the business. It allowed us to have some flexibility for our daughter with schools being closed and all that crazy stuff. And I don't know, I feel like it was a no-brainer by that point because we knew that this would, like, you know, I built this business with my co-founders, but my husband's blood, sweat, and tears are in it also, an investment. So I think he also felt this push for us to get this into the world.
I've been directly involved within our entrepreneurial community for years. And the most common question I get is, Tim, I want to get involved, but I don't know what events I should attend. Well, StartWheel eliminates that pain point because we consolidate all the events you should attend into a single calendar. Now you'll be in the know and see where to spend your time. Gone is the need to search multiple websites and calendars. Just head to startwheel.org and see for yourself. That's startwheel.org.